All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Right, 675. Hurry.
On 1st and 10, Locke. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Get the ball right here. Let's go. Mike's 59. Mike's 59.
On 1st down, it's Locke. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
Tight left. Four down.
Black 22. Black 22.
Here we go, D.
After the interception, here's Watson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Set. Blue 80. Blue 80.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now.
Now behind his first carry. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
From the 32 now, here's first
Here we
and
go
10.
now. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it second down.
Oh, got him! Got him!
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go!
They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Open space inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. In for the score. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Let's go!
And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he heard the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken at its 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different
Go
mindsets.
back.
That's
Back
front
22.
office mindset.
Back
Draft
22.
position, where we're going to do it, what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
There we go. Nice play, baby. Four down. Check.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80!
To throw on second is Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of only a yard. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Come back! Come back!
Strong right.
Down! Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun, here's Watson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm is going forward, incomplete pass. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And the Colts coming out now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Hey, guys, check.
He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man, Hilton. Hilton's first catch, good for a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Wide, 632, hold it.
On your team.
Wide, 632, hold it.
On first down, Love. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Everyone's got 4.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. This quarterback now a perfect 6 for 6 since taking over. Can't ask for better than that. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Now, Barney.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
Here we go.
Who are the freshest guys
Now let's go.
coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Watch tight. Tight end right.
Down. Green the line.
Check. Fresno.
And he'll go on the ground. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Richmond.
On second down, here's Watson. Catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's get it. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Even. 4 down.
And attack here. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Single. I gotta
Down. Blue 80.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
Tiger.
Here's Watson now on second down. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback. But as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Go.
Set.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
I'm going to hit you all day, baby.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Here we go.
Over.
15, check 15.
Set.
There's a play fake as they set up to throw.
Blitz.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Set. Green 39.
Back to throw. And he connects with Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
Hey, 4 down.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
Kill.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
They're going to look to throw. To the right side to Eric Ebron.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Watch left.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
He'll look to throw. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Gun.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. This is 1st and goal from about the 8.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Three down.
Now back to throw. Forced out to his left. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Detroit. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Zach Cunningham in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. On now is the kicker Jason Myers for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 34. And Myers able to knock it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
And now out comes Houston. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Move. Hey, blue 80. Blue 80.
On 1st down, Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a 2nd down.
Crash. Hey. We got 4.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Gun!
Alert. 3 down. Jump.
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this.
No. Check. Patriot.
Check. 59.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Long day. There's gotta be a
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Barney.
Back to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
4 down. Check.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
4 down. Mike, 4.
Back to the air. Watson on 2nd down. past midfield, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Hey, boys, we got Richmond.
From the 50, it's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Four down.
Watson on first down. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. Extra point safely through. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one taken from the 7. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 30, 10, touchdown, Indianapolis.
Good job.
As his guys are in for 6, and the Colts are able to grow their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
Others have egos that their players can't keep up with, and they say challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Texans now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Single. Down. Black 22. Black 22. Come back.
On first down, it's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long.
Black 22. Black 22.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Tight end right.
Blue 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. And another timeout taken by the Colts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Here's Jordan Berry now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's another boomer. Take it into 37. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. So a good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he will find his man in the end route, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the left hash, this from 41 yards. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now, a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Tight end right. Even. 4 down. Even.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Richmond.
Hey.
Richmond.
3 down.
Come back.
45's the mic.
A shotgun snap for Watson.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now, standing just outside his own goal line. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And it's fielded at the 34. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on,
Watch it now,
you can take the
Barney.
spirit away from another team, that their
All right, here we
drive
go.
and will to come back and win
3-19.
can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Going for the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Richmond!
Hey, four down.
Red! Green 39!
After the interception, here's Watson. Underneath for Miller. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That first down completion only netted him 3.
Tiger! Down! Green 39!
Here's Watson. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Come back!
3 down.
Richmond!
41 Mike.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
No. Check! Patriot!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Red! Black 22! Black 22!
Check three.
To throw is Watson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down.
Richmond!
Shift.
Back to throw, Watson. Goes incomplete to Miller. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
Tiger!
We got 4.
Watson now to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10.
4 down, 4 down. Check, check.
To the air yet again, Watson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
4 down, 4 down.
He'll get it up the middle. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The Texans on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Here's Miller. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal to take them through.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder,
Here we go.
is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit on this side?
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Go, go, go. They running.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Leopard. Leopard.
Left, left, left. Watch left, left, left.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the
Leopard!
30 now.
Leopard!
1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now. Out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
Bang, bang.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit. Detroit. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Set. 3-19.
Back to throw.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hey, we got
This is Hines. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Blue 90!
Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now, let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7.
Watch it now, Barney,
Here it's
Barney.
3rd and 3.
Here we go now.
Play action. They'll throw. And it's caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it down when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here's Myers now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3
Back
points.
22.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. No gain, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Tight on the right, tight on the right.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Mike 4.
Now it's Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
All right, here we go.
Amazing, because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Still now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Hey, we got four. We got four down. Four down. Trips. 13.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. They'll set up to throw. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
That's just simply not right. To make that kind of a catch, that spectacular, and not get a first down out of it.
I guess he could put it on his personal highlight reel, however.
Yeah, he'll get the catch, he'll get the yardage, but he doesn't get what he really wants.
Well, he punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Hey, blue 80. Blue 80. Tiger.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
And they'll run here. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Come back.
45.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Not open, that's Kiki QT complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Hey, fellas, we got
Those short
three. Let's
little
go.
routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
45, Mike, 45.
To throw on second is Watson. He'll find QT on the right side complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Watson on first down. And his pass incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Tiger.
3 down.
Throwing again is Watson. Throw left side complete to QT. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes,
Come back.
you're able to hit a receiver in stride and pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
First catch for Bryant. He's got a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Tight end right.
Down. Green the line.
Mine's the mic.
Tiger.
On first down, Watson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. Five sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 14 back, but it leads down to a third down. Watson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback. That's who needs to get rid of that and get himself calm.
Now it's Hines. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Three down. Hey, check. 3 down.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Now a timeout coming in here defensively as they stop it before the 2-minute warning with 2:09 to go in the game. The Colts on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, watch 13.
Leopard.
In your face.
Back to throw.
Check.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Here we go now. 3:19. 3:19.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Colts on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19. 3:19.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle, 55. Oh, you got deep?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now out comes Houston. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
3 down, 3 down.
Hey, Blue 80. Blue 80.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Colts, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for Houston, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.